Jerry Yin and Tong Liya have been the talk of the entertainment industry for months. Their on-screen chemistry, their rumored off-screen closeness, and the mystery surrounding their relationship. But recently, a new twist emerged from the set of their latest project, and it's a twist that no one saw coming. According to several reports from insiders, crew members witnessed what seemed to be a tense disagreement between the two stars while filming. And while neither Jerry nor Tong Liya have made a public statement about it, the whispers from behind the scenes are growing louder. It all happened during a long and emotionally charged filming day. The production had been running behind schedule, with multiple retakes and delays due to weather conditions and set preparations. Sources say the atmosphere was already heavy when the scene in question began, a pivotal moment in the storyline, one that required both actors to deliver peak emotional performances. Witnesses on set claim that during one of the rehearsals, Jerry made a comment about how the scene should be approached. Tong Liya, known for her meticulous preparation and deep emotional commitment to her roles, reportedly disagreed with his interpretation. What started as a creative discussion allegedly turned into a noticeably tense exchange. One crew member described it as uncomfortable to watch, saying that although their voices weren't raised enough for everyone to hear clearly, the body language said it all. Jerry was standing with his arms crossed, while Tong Liya had stepped slightly back, her expression unreadable but clearly not in agreement. The director stepped in quickly to mediate, but the atmosphere remained strained for a while. Of course, disagreements between co-stars aren't uncommon in the film industry. Creative clashes happen, especially when two passionate actors are working on a complex project. But this moment has drawn attention because of Jerry and Tong Liya's public image. Until now, they've been portrayed and perceived as a perfectly harmonious duo both on and off camera. This incident has made fans wonder if there's more going on behind the scenes than they've been letting on. Some insiders insist that this was nothing more than a professional difference of opinion. They're both perfectionists, one source explained. Jerry has a certain way of doing things, and Tong Liya has her own method. Sometimes, those methods collide. But at the end of the day, they're both committed to making the project the best it can be. Still, others hint at deeper layers. A few crew members who have been working closely with them suggest that the tension might not have been purely about the scene. There are murmurs that recent offset events may have affected their dynamic, particularly Jerry's past relationship drama resurfacing in the media, and Tong Liya's own personal commitments pulling her attention away from the set at times. One anonymous crew member shared that, in the days leading up to the disagreement, both Jerry and Tong Liya had been quieter than usual during breaks. Normally, they chat and laugh with each other between takes, the source said. But lately, they've been keeping more to themselves. That's why, when the disagreement happened, people noticed. It wasn't just the moment, it was the buildup. After the incident, both actors continued working professionally, but their interactions reportedly remained minimal for the rest of the day. The director eventually decided to wrap early, citing the need to reset the energy on set. By the next day, according to reports, the mood seemed lighter, but something still felt subtly different. Fans who have been following their rumored relationship are now left with questions. Was this just a minor creative clash that was blown out of proportion by gossip? Or was it a sign that cracks are forming in their once flawless public connection? Some fans have even taken to social media, defending the pair. Every close partnership goes through disagreements, one comment read. It doesn't mean they aren't still close. Others, however, worry that this could be the beginning of a shift in their dynamic. If they're fighting now, what will happen when the pressure of promotion and interviews begins? Another fan wondered. Interestingly, in the days after the incident, Jerry and Tong Liya were both spotted arriving on set separately, rather than together as they often had before. While this might mean nothing, it has fueled speculation among fans and the media. And here's where it gets even more intriguing. A production assistant claims that just a few days later, during a particularly difficult night shoot, Jerry was seen quietly bringing Tong Liya a cup of hot tea between takes. The gesture didn't go unnoticed, and some crew members believe it was his way of making peace. Tong Liya, for her part, was seen smiling softly when she accepted the tea. While the moment wasn't exactly a grand reconciliation, those who witnessed it say it suggested that whatever tension existed between them might be easing. But as the weeks go on, the question remains, was this disagreement just a fleeting clash between two dedicated professionals, or is there a more complicated emotional story unfolding behind the scenes? The truth is, in the entertainment industry, relationships, whether romantic or purely professional, are often tested under the pressures of long hours, high expectations, and constant public scrutiny. Jerry Yin and Tong Liya have managed to capture the attention and hearts of audiences for months, but moments like these remind everyone that behind the glamour, they are still human. Only time will tell if this incident will fade into a forgotten footnote in their working history or become a turning point in how they navigate their connection both on and off screen. For now, all eyes remain on them, waiting for the next public moment that might reveal just where they truly stand. What happened after that quiet tea moment might surprise some people. In the days that followed, those working on set began to notice subtle changes. The two were no longer avoiding each other completely, but there was still an unmistakable caution in their interactions. Jerry, usually quick to crack a smile during lighthearted moments, seemed more reserved whenever Tong Liya was nearby. Tong Liya, on the other hand, maintained her professionalism, but her laughter, the warm, easy sound that once brightened the set, seemed to appear less often. And yet, those same insiders also noticed that when the cameras rolled, something magical still happened. Despite whatever personal tension may have been simmering beneath the surface, Jerry and Tong Liya's on-screen chemistry remained intact, almost as if the world outside the scene didn't exist. In fact, some crew members even said that the tension might have been feeding into their performances, giving the emotional scenes an even deeper authenticity. But here's where things took another turn. About a week after the disagreement, there was a closed-door meeting between Jerry, Tong Liya, and the director. No one knows exactly what was discussed, but it lasted nearly an hour, and when they emerged, both Jerry and Tong Liya looked noticeably calmer. Tong Liya even walked alongside Jerry as they returned to the set, something that hadn't happened since before the argument. Later that day, during a break between scenes, Jerry was seen handing Tong Liya a script and pointing out a specific part. They spoke quietly for several minutes, with Jerry occasionally gesturing as if explaining his point, and Tong Liya nodding in response. By the end of the conversation, she actually smiled, a small but genuine one, before returning to her seat. Some sources believe this was the moment they truly started to mend things. A wardrobe assistant recalled hearing Tong Liya thank Jerry for his input later that day, and though it was a simple exchange, the sincerity in her voice stood out. Still, speculation outside the set continued to grow. Photos of Jerry and Tong Liya from before the incident were resurfacing online, with fans comparing them to recent behind-the-scenes shots. They used to be so comfortable with each other, one post read. Now, there's a distance you can feel even in the photos. But then came something unexpected, an offset sighting. One evening, a fan claimed to have spotted Jerry and Tong Liya at a quiet cafe not far from the filming location. According to the fan, they weren't seated too close, but they were talking in what seemed like a serious yet respectful manner. No laughter, no playful gestures, but no visible hostility either. The fan described it as two people working through something important. This sighting was enough to set social media buzzing again. Was this their way of repairing the rift away from prying eyes? Or was it simply a professional meeting to ensure the project stayed on track? The truth is, Jerry and Tong Liya's working relationship, and whatever personal connection may be intertwined with it, has always been a delicate balance. They've had to juggle long hours, public scrutiny, and their own individual pressures. And sometimes, even the closest partnerships are tested in unexpected ways. What stands out most to those who know them is that neither Jerry nor Tong Liya have allowed the tension to derail their work. Both continue to show up, deliver their best performances, and keep the production moving forward. For them, it seems the bigger picture, the story they're telling on screen, is worth navigating whatever rough patches may appear along the way. As one crew member put it, they're both strong-willed, but they're also professionals. I think whatever happened that day will end up making their scenes even more powerful. Still, fans are watching closely. Every shared glance, every public appearance, every candid shot from the set is being analyzed for clues. And whether they like it or not, Jerry and Tong Liya have become the subject of a real-life drama that's playing out alongside their scripted one. The question now is simple. Will this tension fade into nothing more than a temporary setback, or will it mark a turning point in their story, one that changes the way they work and relate to each other moving forward? For now, Only Jerry and Tong Liya know the full truth. And if history is any indication, they're not about to reveal it until they're ready.